Today's khutbah is dedicated to a few ayat that belong to Surah Rahman, one of the most famous surahs of the Quran. So many parts of the Muslim world, we take a select few surahs that the Muslims have a special affiliation towards because of some narrations that are famous about those surahs. And Surah Rahman is certainly one of them. In many cultures around the world, especially in Southeast Asia, the recitation of Surah Rahman is very, very common. At the same time, what is also tragic is a lot of people, most people who recite and love the surah and have heard it so many times, don't know what it says, don't know what Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying. And so let's take advantage of that love that we have for the surah and actually try to learn something about it as well. This surah uniquely, Allah Azza wa Jalla repeats the same phrase multiple times, an unusual frequency of times. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. It keeps, every few ayat, Allah keeps uttering the same thing over and over again. And that statement roughly translates, and this is actually, if you don't understand this statement, you'll miss the point of the entire surah. Allah Azza wa Jalla is in a very emphatic way declaring what favors, what wonders, what incredible things that your master has done are you going to be in denial of. That's a very rough translation, but essentially Allah keeps asking how much more in denial can you be? How much more stuff can you ignore? How much more can Allah do for you all around you? And you pretend that it's not Allah who's the one doing it. How blind can you be? And He keeps asking that question over and over and over again. Now, scholars grapple with the problem, why does Allah repeat Himself like that? Why does He keep repeating that question time and time again? And it's also baffling because in the beginning Allah talks about what He created in the world and then asks that question. Later on He's going to start describing Judgment Day and He'll ask that question again. Then a few ayat about Jahannam, hellfire, then He'll ask that question again. Then every few ayat about Jannah, He'll ask that question again. So it's not like it's the same subject. There are literally 5 different subjects in the surah and He still asks the same exact question over and over and over again. And so it begs, it really makes one curious, and you would have to understand that Quran is bilisanin Arabiyyin mubin. Allah even says, illa bilisani qawmihim, messengers came in the language of the people. And the Arabic of the Quran is very clear. In other words, you don't have to come up with some exhaustive, technical, complicated, philosophical explanation. It's actually very natural. When someone is angry with you, they repeat themselves. And especially if they're asking a question, sometimes to scold somebody. For example, a teacher is yelling at the students because most of them failed a test. Didn't we go over this? Didn't we review this 10 times? Did I not teach you? Did I not do my job? In other words, when a teacher repeats those questions, it's an expression of, I did everything I could, why didn't you do your part? And the more he repeats that question is an expression of how angry he is. And how upset he is with people who've taken advantage, like in the case of the example I gave you, of a teacher who did everything he could for every single student. Is there any question? I'll stay after class, I'll help you however I can, and you still do this. And you still fail the exam, and you still miss the most obvious. Allah Azza wa Jalla, as angry as He is in this surah, it's so amazing that He began with what of His names? Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman. Because if He wasn't Ar-Rahman, then anybody else who made Allah this angry, they wouldn't exist anymore. They would have been in Allah's punishment already. So the point of the surah is that you and I, or humanity rather, has made Allah extremely upset. Allah is extremely disappointed with humanity. And the only reason Allah is not executing what they deserve is because He's Ar-Rahman.